Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia, where we love making wreaths. With me today is my sweet Louie, looking all handsome in his bow tie. And in today's video we are doing a poof wreath with some woodland ruffles all around. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that there's a little bit of a video footage missing when I'm attaching the ribbon bundles by themselves on the outer row of this wreath. I do explain everything that I'm doing before I do it anyway, so you're not going to miss anything, but I do want to apologize that I was not able to record that. I don't know why, the camera just didn't work. Anyway, you guys, let's get started on this poof wreath. Let's go over the supplies for this wreath. I'm going to start with 2 rolls of Deco mesh. Both of these are 10 inches by 18 feet, which is 6 yards. When buying Deco mesh, pay attention to the center of the wreath, because from the side you can see that these are fairly the same. Here's the difference. The yellow one is 10 yards. This one is 6. Why do they look the same? Well, the 10-yard rolls have the little center and the 6 yards have the bigger one. I'm just throwing that out there so you don't accidentally bring it home thinking you have 10 yards to work with and you only have 6. Just remember that anything beautiful like this, whether it's ribbon or a more foiled up Deco mesh, it takes more material to make these Deco mesh rolls, so obviously they need to compensate for that. So they just kind of do this little trick where they give you 6 yards instead of the 10 and have it be pretty much the same price as the Deco mesh that doesn't have all the bells and whistles. We are going to be using this burlap one for the base. So for the base, you can use whatever you have on hand. And to decorate, I'm going to make Cruffles out of this Deco mesh roll. When it comes to the ribbon, I'm going to use this mustard yellow one and an orange ivory buffalo check. It's very beautiful. Both are wired 1.5 inches in width. Of course, we will need some pipe cleaners, some floral wire. I'm going to be using a 14-inch metal wreath ring. I chose this stunning pumpkin spice sign for this wreath because, well, I love pumpkin spice year-round, but this sign is 7.75 inches, so almost 8 inches in diameter. It's metal. To attach this sign to the wreath, it already has pre-made holes at the top and the bottom. We are going to use the 18 pipe cleaner method. That means one little simple thing. We're going to take 3 pipe cleaners at a time and work section at a time. For the first pipe cleaner, I'm going to put it on rows 1 and 2. I do like to put my pipe cleaners on 2 rows just because I feel like the pipe cleaner themselves are going to be more stable and are not going to wobble on the wire. So that is why I do that. Pipe cleaner number 2 is going to go on row 3 and 4. 2 twists, and I'm going to point this one out. All the pipe cleaners on this inner row, which is 1 and 2, are going to be facing towards the inside of the wreath, and all the pipe cleaners on row 3 and 4 are going to be facing towards the outside of the wreath. We have one section done. Pipe cleaner number 1 is going on this inner row 1 and 2. Pipe cleaners 2 and 3 are going on row 3 and 4, which is our outer row. Since this wreath has 6 sections all together, 3 times 6 is going to give us 18 pipe cleaner. I'm just going to repeat this exact same thing going all the way around. All the pipe cleaners are on the inside row. We have 6 pipe cleaners, and on the outside row we have 12. It is time to attach our Deco mesh. I like to work inside out. You can work outside in. If I started this pipe cleaner, I'm going to be doing 10-inch loops going all the way around until I get to where I started. Then I'm going to go flat to the outside row. We're going to put a zip tie here. That's very optional, you'll see as we're doing it. And then on the outside row, I usually go down to 9 inches, but this time we are going to go up because I want to use this up And also because we're going to put Cruffles every other, so I would like this to be a little bit more filled in. We're going to be doing 12-inch loops on the outside row. That's going to be lots of deco mesh. It's going to be beautiful. Grab 3 zip ties. The first zip tie is when we start. The second one is when we're transitioning from the inner row to the outer row, and the third one at the end. This is very much optional, but I like to do it just so I sleep better at night. I do. Let's get started and collect that first section. And we're going to go on the inner row. Tie twist or 2. My first zip tie, I'm going to zip tie it to row 2. You can use a zip tie that's 4 inches or 6 inches. I'm currently using my 6-inch zip ties, but I also like using the 4. Cut off the tail, and now your tail is nice and smooth. I attached the zip tie about 1 inch from our pipe cleaner. Let's start making those 10-inch loops and attaching. Grab my pipe cleaner, and as you can see, it's so much easier just to grab the pipe cleaner on the inside row because it's right there and ready for you to go. We came where we started, a nice secure twist or 2, and then we are going to go flat from the inside to the outside row, just like this. And the reason I put the zip tie there is because I want to make sure that this doesn't wiggle or go anywhere. So I'm going to grab a zip tie, and on row 3, 1 zip tie. You saw me wiggle this before, but now there's no wiggle. It's zip tied in place, which means the whole outside row is going to be beautifully secured. 12 inches. This is really going to poof this wreath out. And there you go. I'm almost done, and I think I have the perfect length. Look at this. My last 12 inches, and this is how much I have left. How perfect is that? Let's cut off the tail. My last loop, I'm going to attach where I started the outside row. So let's do 2 nice twists to secure it. And then we're going to send the tail between rows 3 and 4 to the back. Let's flip my last zip tie, and I'm going to zip tie it to row 3. Actually, I'm really close to the intersection, so I'll just do it there. Why not, right? Cut off the tail. Look how beautiful this base turned out. Now I'm going to go around and make sure everything is beautifully poofed out. This is a little bit of a different poof wreath because this base is not enough if you are just going to add ribbon bundles. Because I'm adding Cruffles, this is perfect, and you will see the way I do this. If you would like to see how I do this wreath using a 10-inch or a 21-inch wreath base, I will attach those in the description box below so you know exactly how I do those. But for this particular wreath, I am adding woodland Cruffles and ribbon, so let's get those ready. Today I'm going to be using my sweet little rotary cutter. We are going to be cutting this deco mesh into 18-inch strips, and we are going to get 12 of these from this roll. I usually like my Cruffles 20 to 24, if not more, but because this deco mesh roll is only 6 yards, 18 is as far as we can go. So I'm just rolling them up and putting them to the side. We are going to cut our ribbon into 12-inch strips, and as usual, I'm going to just grab it and start zigzagging. I'm going to need 18 pieces of this ribbon. To cut a ribbon, going to fold the ends in half and cut off a little triangle coming from inside out, making sure I cut the little part where it folds over. And there you go. I'm going to do this to both sides. Now for this gorgeous mustard yellow ribbon, same thing. We are going to cut it at 12 inches, and we're going to need 18 pieces. Fold the ends and make little dovetails. Now we're ready to put our woodland ruffles on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 6 on the inner row, so on all of the pipe cleaners on the inside row, and on the outside row we're going to do every other. With the Cruffle ending going away from the table, so curling away from me, I'm going to curl 2 to 3 times and about 1 inch in diameter. Then I'm going to grab a clamp. You can use anything you have on hand. Maybe you have some clothespins. Anything would be fine. And then on this side, same thing. I'm going to do 2 to 3 curls and bring the little cruffle in. One of each of the ribbon, and it doesn't matter which one goes on top of which one. And if you're doing this one-handed, having a mat is so easy because I'm just going to put it right in the middle, collect it right there, and I'm going to wiggle it right inside my cruffle, and then I can attach just like this. Let's bring another cruffle in. It is rolling from the table and away from me, so I'm going to roll 2 to 3 times, clamp it, and curl this side. Collect it in the middle, one of each ribbon, find my center, and put it right inside the cruffle. This is such a fun technique, and it adds beautiful layers to the wreath. It's great to do when you're working with fun deco mesh. There you go. Bring it together, one of each ribbon, and attach. I'm done attaching all the ribbon bundles on the outside row, and now I'm going to go in between those, and we should have 6 empty pipe cleaners left. I'm going to go ahead and attach the remaining cruffles along with our ribbon. So pretty. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the outer row, and I'll be right back. At this point, I'm done attaching everything, and I know you guys notice those pipe cleaners everywhere. Now, if you're using a pipe cleaner that kind of works with this, for example, maybe a yellow or an orange one, then you can definitely just leave it. It'll be part of the wreath. But if not, let's just take care of that. We're going to twist about 1 inch up, cut the remaining tail, and then what I do with this part is just fold it in half and fold it back. Usually I do this as I'm going along, but this time I didn't. I don't know why, I just didn't. I'm going to go around the whole wreath and take care of all those pipe cleaners. And now we're going to do something different. All our cruffles are basically facing inside, going out, laid out in that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, very carefully, because we don't want any fraying going on, I'm going to pick each one of the cruffles, bring it together, and put it sideways. Now we're filling this area in. We're going to do the same thing with the outside row. Turn it sideways. This is going to fill the wreath so beautifully. Let me do some of it, and then you will see exactly what I mean. I did half the wreath, and you can see that this side of the wreath is a little bit flatter than this side, and keep in mind the ribbon has not been touched. It has not been pulled out and opened up. I always do the ribbon last. Now I'm going to just go ahead and do the remainder of the wreath. Simba, what do you think so far? I think Simba likes it, I'm not sure. All done with that. Now I'm going to grab our sign and our gold floral wire. I like to cut these at about 20 inches. This 22 gauge wire is fairly soft, so I'm going to fold it in half, put it straight through my sign, and we're going to twist twice in the back. Let's do the second one. It looks like Mr. Simba loves this beautiful, beautiful sign that we're using. You like it? All right, now we're going to lay it right in the center. Let's do a flip and let's attach. I'm attaching to the first row on the intersection. Someone's trying to get into under the, okay. We have a cat under the wreath. A little blooper moment there, huh? Sorry about that, you guys. Now we're going to attach the second side. Aw, Simba's trying to get into the center of the wreath. He hasn't done that since he was a kitten. Excuse me, mister. The sign is on, but I feel like it's still a little wobbly. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that deco mesh. So I'm going to take every other little ribbon bundle, and I'm going to turn it in. If you're using a bigger sign, this should not be a problem for you. I'm going to grab the ribbon out. But in my case, my sign is only 8 inches, so I do need a little bit of support from underneath, and look at this. That did the trick. Let's flip back over, find the top. We are going to put a little hanging loop. I'm going to go on row 2 on this intersection. Let's measure our jute cord. Is that enough, Simba? And Simba would like the remainder of the jute cord. You know what the boss wants, boss gets. Let's cut this off. Simba, you could have this. I like to pull the loop through to the front. If you would like to cover the back, this would be a great time to do it. I'm not going to in this case. Now we're going to flip over, and all of those spots that we see little air through, we are going to take care of those because we do have lots of ribbon here. And now we're going to grab all of that beautiful ribbon. I love opening these up like a flower, and of course do it every other color. Just swoop all of those pieces out, get them out from inside the Cruffles. The ones that are on the outside, go ahead and bring those in and open them up. Also, you are going to have a very full and beautiful wreath. Look how everything is being filled out nicely. And of course, if you would like to use ribbon that's a little wider, you could definitely use the 2.5 inches, or maybe 2.5, the other one 1.5. It doesn't matter. I just used ribbon that matched nicely with the theme I was going, but you can use whatever you have on hand that would look beautiful with your center. I'm done opening up all of the ribbon, and I think this wreath turned out beautifully. I hope you enjoyed this wreath tutorial. Louie and I are going to say thank you so much for being with us. And if you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing and hitting the little bell. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up so this video keeps on growing and we keep on growing. Thank you so much for being with us, and we will see you in our next video. Bye-bye, my sweet friends. Louie, did you want to say bye to everyone? Bye. Bye. You're the sweetest. Aww. Bye, guys.